Hello, this is Mike, and today I'm going to show you how I roll my dice when I play solo. Usually I play d20 systems like D&D or Pathfinder, or even more simplified systems like use roll20 to solve conflicts and stuff. Instead of a d20, I use 3d8. I started to use this some time ago after watching some videos about the latest Star Wars system, where they have different dice that represent different things like terrain, knowledge, training, and something else. Exploding dice system, so you count how many successes you have, and the different symbols on the die, they help you to describe what's happening, right? Like, for example, if you roll and you have a success on terrain, you got to jump over ledge or something to do your attack. It's a way to make descriptions better. Going back to solo gaming, I play solo on my phone, so I won't be taking a bunch of dice everywhere, so I used Google for rolling dice, and I try to keep it simple. So instead of doing all those dice for terrain, knowledge, training, and I don't remember what else, I use 3 dice, and so I get results from 3 to 24. So I adapt that and roll this 3d8 instead of rolling a d20. As I said, there's 3 dice, so one of my dice, I call it the heart dice. The next one is the knowledge dice, and the third one is the luck dice. So in this case, the heart dice represent how much soul, emotions, intent your character put in that action. Knowledge die represents your training, your knowledge, your memory, but how well you use that, right? It could be also your muscle memory, I don't know. The thing is, it represents how good you use this knowledge and not how much you know about a subject. And finally, the luck dice. It can represent either your luck or your enemy's luck, in a inverted way, like inverse. So, for example, you have a character that is a fighter, and it's fighting boa constrictor snake on the swamp, right? So you will roll for his attack. Let's roll. And we have a 20. In this case, this 20 will be more like a actual 17 in d20, because 24 will be the natural crit. But how do we interpret these numbers? Let's say the fighter put all his soul and heart in swinging his sword. That's why you got an 8. Also, he did it really maximizing all that he has learned about sword fighting. That's why, not maximizing, but almost at 5. And luckily for him, he caught the snake in the right angle, and that attack will be a success, right? Now, let's roll again and see what happens if we have. Let's try with bad roll. Okay, this is bad roll. Let's say this is 13. It will be like, minus 3 or 4, because it's 24 instead of 20. And in this case, let's say he failed. Well, he didn't fail because he didn't put his hand on it, or because he had bad luck. But maybe he messed up with the technique and didn't do it the right way, so didn't gain the momentum on the swing, and it was too soft to penetrate the natural armor of the snake, right? Okay, well, let's do a social example. Let's say your character is going to roll persuasion or diplomacy, something like that. So he had a good role. So yeah, he put heart on it. Like, he was really passionate in his speech, put all his knowledge. He was like a politician trying to convince everybody to vote for him, and he put all the information about the problems of the town on this speech. And he was very lucky. Maybe it was a sunny day and everybody was in good mood, or this could also represent bad luck of the opponent. And let's find let's roll for an example of failure. Less than that. Okay, so the same example. Your character is trying to convince the town to vote for him, but he kind of, let's say, he kind of put his heart on it, but also he wasn't completely well informed about the problems of the town and about luck. Well, let's say it start raining heavily and everybody have to run to their houses, or maybe a bird poop in his head or something like that. Like, it's really, really bad luck. And other examples, let's say he failed in knowledge, and then he, without having any bad intentions, said something wrong about the town hero, or something about some taboo in the town or something, and then people will just hate him and boo him. Or let's say he rolled really low in the heart dice. He was depressed that day, or very sad, or and even though he tried to make a great speech, people noticed that he was down, and that's why they didn't follow him or believe him. So that's the point of this. And why do I use this instead of d20s when I solo roleplay? Because, as you see in the examples, these help to make descriptions of what's happening instead of just success or failure. And also, it gives you some options to build these descriptions. Could you use this system instead of a d20 on a normal game with a bunch of people? I guess you could, but I have never tried. For the main reason is because when I play with people, when I DM for people, I really don't feel a lack of feedback as when I am playing solo. So normally all the descriptions, all the stuff is provided by the feedback from the players or the situations or the group. It's way easier for me than playing solo, where I have to come up with everything. But maybe you can try and tell me how it goes. Maybe I should try someday. Maybe you can do it just from the DM side. Not everybody will have to do it. It will be a matter of trying, right? One more thing I forget to say is that using 3d8 instead of a d20 puts more balance. I mean, you will get more average in the middle, instead of having lots of or the same amount of critical or natural 24s or critical failures with 3. You will have more probabilities to have average numbers, which I think is good for a solo game, because that way it's more balanced, I guess, in terms of what the dice say for you and how they change the story. So as you can hear, we have more probabilities to have 14, 15, 13 here in the middle, versus here the d20, where all numbers have the same probability. Well, if you are playing solo and d20 systems, please give it a try. And please tell me how it goes in the comments below. I would like to know. And that's it for today. I hope this was informative and helpful for somebody out there. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. That help a lot. And we'll see you in the next video. Keep rolling those dice. Goodbye.